Mike Brennan, 4528 Atlantic Brigantine Boulevard. First, I'd like to start by commending council for taking the 5% pay reduction in city services in the spirit that enlists in the community. I've followed several press articles about surrounding communities and how they're operating and how they're dealing with the current financial crisis, the economic conditions that we're all faced with. I'd like to cite a few of those articles and discuss them in a very positive light. I drew something out of them that were quite inspiring, very thought out, and inspiring to me as a member of the community and what other communities are doing to deal with financial crisis, tight budgets, loss of revenues, and the public and private sector suffering from what the economy is today. In the press dated February 27th, no such thing as job security. Stafford Township joined the ranks this week of Southern New Jersey municipalities that are using layoffs to close budget gaps. In Galway Township, 14 police officers were put on paid leave in advance of being laid off. While in Egg Harbor Township, 17 workers were told they may lose their jobs. Wildwood city officials are notifying 40 employees, nearly 20% of the workforce, that their jobs may be lost. Atlantic City Press, March 1st, 2010. Galway Police Union delay vote on concessions. The least 14 senior Galway officers were noticed 10 days ago that they would be laid off, effective March 21st. They will remain on administrative leave until then, unless the township and union agree on an alternative way to save $833,000. Atlantic City Press, March 2nd, 2010, Galway Township. The building will be closed every Monday for the rest of the year or until the township and unions for its public works and white-collar employees agree on concessions that would make up $2.2 million budget shortfall. This is interesting. Some residents, including 66-year-old Bill Wrigley, said that they read about Monday closings in the newspaper. This is Bill Wrigley's quote, "I don't want my taxes raised. Simple. I understand the situation and I'm not complaining about the shutdown," said Wrigley, who lived in Galway Township for 20 years. What Mr. Wrigley was saying was, I could put up with the inconvenience to save money on taxes. Police deal pending. Mainland Police Benevolent Association Local 77 representatives met again with township officials Monday night to try and work out agreement that would save $833,000 of the $954,000 the department has been ordered to cut, labor consultant Myron Plotkin said. After 6 hours of talks Wednesday, officials and union representatives had developed a draft proposal that would restore 14 police officers put on paid leave February 18th in preparation for their layoffs effective May 21st. Very interesting article. I want to touch a couple things on here. Egg Harbor Township unions making concessions to avoid losing jobs. Wednesday, March 3rd, 2010. Government Workers Union is still discussing different cost-saving measures with Egg Harbor Township officials to avoid layoff of 12 workers. At the same time, the township's police and manager unions are closer to finalizing about $790,000 in concessions to help the municipality close an estimated $3 billion budget gap. David Tucker, the president of the Government Workers Union, said in an interview Tuesday that
Mike, I don't know about the rest of council, but I read them the first time. Can you sum this up?
There's points that, Mayor, it'll only take a minute. I'm almost through the major points. There's points that I want to make, and I will sum it up.
Thank you.
We're pretty through this council meeting pretty quick tonight. If I could just have a minute, there's thought. There's food for thought here for everybody to think about, public, private, and government here. There's a lot to take the message out of what's happening around us and how we can
So what are you suggesting?
In here. What I'm suggesting is that you just let me get through a couple of these little quotes, because it really is. There's little points that I know you want to rush through this, but I do want to make these points. I've taken the time to read them and gather them, and I think it's important for us to all think about what the business administrator is trying to avoid these layoffs and things like that. He's working with the white collar unions. The Police Benevolent Association is agreeing to concessions. In Egg Harbor Township, the city workers are agreeing to concessions. Basically what they're doing is, not taking overtime, taking time off in lieu of that, and working with the community. Consolidating services in Longport using 911 and Margate. Pleasantville, what the firefighters face. If everybody read the article, the fire department faces layoffs. What I'm gathering out of this is These are towns. These are towns where the public sector, the private sector, and the government are working in concert to solve the economic crisis that we all face. Here we have public employees that are taking hits, like the private sector is taking hits, and working together towards a common goal to hold down the taxes, to be able to pay the bills. And I think it's very important that we as a town come together and use these same tactics and work together to reduce our cost, to respect each other, to keep our people employed. Nobody wants to see City Hall lose jobs. But if we can make some concessions there and keep the jobs there that we need and don't want to give up, and people give a little concessions, because all these towns, the public employees, are giving concessions. I'd love to see everybody get more than 4% tax pay raises. But if it's not there for a couple of years, c'est la vie. I respect this underlying tone that I hear from every town around here. And that underlying tone is working together as a town, public, private, and our leadership working together. Now, another underlying tone, there's tools to make that happen when people are reluctant, but that's okay, because I would be reluctant. I would. I don't like the money I'm making right now. I'm a victim of it, and I got to work way through it, and I got to I got to live with that. Right. Times will change, and I look forward to better times.
There's a difference, though, between our situation and the communities you cited. We have not filled a number of positions over the years. Right now, we're down 4 police officers. We're down 3, soon to be 4 firefighters. We're down 7 people in public works? 7. So over the years, we have not hired, and through attrition, we have reduced the staffing levels in the city. The other issues that you're seeing in a number of these communities, and Chris, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, they can't make budget cap. So they are at a situation where the state is imposing a cap. You can only have a tax increase of so large, and your spending can only be so large. That's why you're seeing these reductions in the way that they're being done right now.
That's all great, Mayor Gunther, and I respect that. What we're looking at here is we're spending more money too, okay? Whether we could put it in this category or that category, I'm saying, great, we all wanted the community center, we voted for it, good. Let's hold that $6 million bond to a minimum impact for the next couple of years on the taxpayers.